Hey, good morning, everyone. Paul McMann here with Forex Smart Trade. So happy you could be with us this morning on the Tuesday morning trade with Paul. Our objective here at Forex Smart Trade is to help you become the best version of yourself. And we do that by helping you become financially independent by teaching you how to currency trade with our super accurate proprietary indicators and our best in the business one-on-one training. Today is Tuesday, March 16th. Last week we had sunlight at this time. Today we have darkness because of daylight savings time. And with that daylight savings time, there is one change you need to make to your charts. So let's do that real quick. And then we'll get on with it. Click anywhere on your charts, right click, go down to chart settings, and you have a session time here. The session time for standard time is 22. The session time for daylight savings time should be 21. So change the 21 to 22 here, the start time and the end time. So go ahead and change your session time, and then click apply, and it will apply it to all the charts. And you can see I've already done that on my charts. Change the session time from 22 to 21. And some people will have a minute here versus 10 seconds. I don't really remember what the difference is. I've always done it at 10 seconds. That's how it was started with me, and I use that, and the charts seem to work fine. There's a little bit of a delay in that, but some people will have 1 minute, some people will have 10 seconds. And you don't change anything on the echo. If you're in the light, you don't even know what the echo is, but the echo does not need to be changed, just these charts. On this session, I evaluate and take a couple trades using the principal signals I use. We've got a dozen different signals. The signal I use is something called the 10-point trade. I also trade a little bit with something called the thick orange line trade. Before we get started, I have a checklist that I go through. First thing is I want to make sure, it's kind of like a pilot's checklist. I want to kind of make sure everything is working properly. So if I look on my green charts, I get a green light up here and a green light down here. If this means I'm connected to the internet, this means the chart is current. If I go back in time, this becomes red. I would go back in time if I wanted to backtest a signal. So backtesting a signal means you scroll it back, you start looking for the signal 1 hour at a time, and you mark it up when you see it, and that way you can gain confidence as to the accuracy of the signal. You know what, actually, let me even step back a minute further. We're supposed to play this right at the very beginning, this disclosure. This is the unhappy guy, so let's go ahead and listen to this real quick.
Due to federal and state regulations, we are providing the following disclosure. Please stay tuned, as this will take less than a minute. Foreign exchange, futures, and cryptocurrency trading are highly risky, and you can lose all the money you invest should you decide to engage in live trading. We are not responsible for your investment, trading, or tax decisions. We are not licensed financial advisors, traders, accountants, stockbrokers, or attorneys. We are not licensed commodities brokers and do not engage in or facilitate commodities transactions. We are not an introducing broker, and we make no recommendation as to where you should invest or what broker you should trade with. As you apply what you learn, we recommend you seek advice from licensed professionals. Any trade results that we show should not be considered typical of our students. We do not and cannot track the results or performance of our students' private trading accounts. We do not know what a typical or average student earns or loses trading. This is not a get-rich-quick program, guaranteed system, or business opportunity. We sell training and trading tools. We make no promises our training or tools will generate future income for students, and you may not make your investment back, including your investment in this training. Any redistribution or recording of this material is strictly prohibited without advance written permission.
Hey, I've got a message from someone saying they can't see my screen. Can you see my screen? If you cannot see my screen, re-message me, but it's showing that my screen is broadcasting here. Okay, so you can't see the screen. So let's go back to the checklist. So the green chart is connected. Let's just make sure our CoinEx is connected, and I can tell because I see these numbers changing here. So we've got a live chart on the CoinEx. This is a demo account. Review of yesterday's trade. Good habit to review your trading activity on a daily basis. Especially the trades you lost. You want to know why things didn't go the way you predicted that they would. I find it's very helpful to take a screenshot of the trade before we have it. And I know I say that, but I always forget to do it on our live trade. Last week we took 2 trades. We took a thick orange line trade on the Euro CAD for 5 pips, and then we took a I think it was a 8 pip trade on the Euro Yen. Both trades closed profitably. We are technical traders. That means we trade based strictly on price movement. Our indicators pick up when the pick up the turns in the movement of the price action. So with that, we want to avoid situations where news will impact the currency pair. So there are several different places you can go to get this information. I like to use Forex Factory. Forex Factory gives a list, breaks news events down into 3 categories. A yellow, which is low impact, an orange, which is medium impact, and a red, which is high impact. Typically, we do not want to trade. I want to stay out of a trade 2 hours before a high impact, and this is scheduled for 8:30 a.m. So we're within that 2-hour window. So we will probably avoid taking any trades on the dollar today, or this morning anyways. But what we will do is we will go through the analysis just so as it's a teaching moment, to go through the analysis to say, well, what is the chart showing us in terms of a trade. So let us come on here. And now we will get into our technical analysis. Just a reminder, there are other live trades in addition to this. We've got the intro to coaching. If you're in a light, these orange windows apply to you. If you're a regular member, these green and purple boxes apply to you. Intro to coaching Tuesday morning and Thursday evening. Light member meeting Wednesday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern. Every evening at 10 p.m. Brett is doing the AIT, where he is trading Australian currency pairs. Brett is a little quirky, but he's a very, very good trader. And then Sunday evening, 1 hour after the market opens, we do a live trade. So watching other traders trade is one way you get better in addition to the instruction. So with that, let's go into our analysis. On the we're going to start with the 10-point trade. And on the 10-point trade, basically, I'm trying to get all the lines to line up a certain way. When they do, then we'll dive a little deeper and figure out what the trade is worth and take it. So ideally, on a trade on the 10-point trade, I start with the middle chart, which is what we call the majors and minors. The red and green lines are the majors. The black and gray lines are the minors. Basically, I'm looking for situations where the lines are oversold below the red line or overbought above the blue line. Now, when we have an oversold situation, as we kind of have here on the Australian US dollar, I want the lines pointing up. Both are, and double crossed, where green's crossing over red, gray's crossing over black, and pointed up. So if I've got under the red line, that's 1. Pointing up is 2, and double cross is 3 points. If I have 3 points, I have the beginning of the trade. I've got the first section that I need. In this case, we're kind of into the channel. It is okay, in my opinion. The black and gray have already gone past the halfway point, but the red and green are below, basically below the halfway point. So this is okay to me. Ideally, I would have liked to catch it a little lower, but where this is all right. So I've got 3 points here. When I have the 3 points here, I'm going to go up and look at my TNTs, which is this chart on the top, and count how many lines are going in the appropriate direction. 2 orange lines are going up. The thick and the thin orange are going up. The blue lines are inversely related. So when blue is going down, that means up. So I've got the 2 blue lines coming down. So I got all 4 telling me buy here. I want a minimum of 3 out of 4 telling me buy, and I've got all 4 here. And then I am looking at, I go down to the third section here, the pressure, and I want the lines either going up or I want green on top. And I don't quite have that. I've got green is just about, we've got down pressure. The lines are converging. That is, they're getting closer. And the green line is about to cross over the red line. When that green line crosses over the red line, then we have a good trade. Not quite here, just a little bit shy. Euro dollar, we're already through the channel. We're overbought and everybody's going up. If you could mute yourself, everyone mute yourself. I'm getting a little feedback. That is distracting me. Oops, actually, well, let me put the microphone a little closer. So overbought, going up, so nothing here. Pound dollar, oversold. So that's 1 point. The 2 majors and minors are pointing up, green on top, gray on top, and we're just entering the channel, so 3 points here. The 2 orange lines are going up, so that's 2 points. Dotted blue coming down. Thick blue is going up, which means down. Usually the thick blue, he's some people like to call it the school bus. He's the slowest to turn. So this is okay. So I've got 3 points here. I've got down pressure with green on top. Down pressure with green on top. So I've got 1 point here. Even though the lines are going down, I got the green line on top. So when I have, so I've got 3 points here, 3 points here, 1 point here. So I have 7 points. I want a minimum of 7 points to take this trade. So once I have the 7 points, I want to take a look at the full chart. Well, let's see if I can find a full chart. We'll just open up one of these charts and we'll convert it over. To convert it over, I right click anywhere on the chart settings. And the reason I'm converting is because I don't trade. Well, I do trade the pound, but since he's not there, so USD, no, what is it? Pound dollar, apply. So we'll change all the charts. And the other thing I'm going to do, what's the other thing I'm going to do? I've got to update the clock because we were in daylight savings time. The clock's at 22. I want this at 21. So if you haven't updated your clock on your chart, you need to update it because of daylight savings time. Okay. Did it get it on this one? Oh, this chart wasn't connected. I can tell because it didn't update when I clicked the apply. All right, so now we got all the charts updated. So what I want to do here is I've got the 7 points from my 60-minute chart. I want to see what the longer term charts are doing. So the 2-hour chart, I am oversold. Everybody's going up. I like this nice steepness on this line. And actually, I've got the green on top here, down pressure, but green on top. The 4-hour chart, oversold. Everybody's going up, green on top. And on the day chart hasn't turned yet. We're still getting a kind of a downward push. We had a big gap, which generally means retracement a few hours ago or a few days ago, and you see the retracement here, retraced here and retraced here. But I'm not quite as worried about the day chart. But on the 4-hour chart, I got everything telling me up. The 2-hour chart, I've got everything telling me up. The 60-minute telling me up. 2.5-minute is telling me up. The 30-minute, we're oversold. Oh, excuse me, overbought. But everybody's pushing up. This is a little bit of a duckbill, which tells me it's going to push up. I've got green on top. Next thing is I want to take a look at is where the support and resistance are. So I'm going to crunch this up a little bit so I can see it better. On a chart that I trade a lot, I will already have this put on there. Support and resistance are spots where the candles naturally stop. So I'm looking for spots where the candles naturally stop. Right in here, right in here, right in here, right in here. I want to try to catch one above and one below. And we can see normally on the euro dollar, these tend to be about 30 pips apart. Here they are about 50 pips apart or 60 pips apart, 50 pips apart. Let's take a look. These stops are places where the price when the candle moves, it will tend to stop at a bump at these spots. So I kind of want to know where they are so that when I'm taking a trade, I'm not going to run into a natural bump. And then I want to, if we go back and take a look at my trade routine, I want to know where the support and resistance are. I also want to know what the trend is. So what is the trend here? Last 3 days, 2.5 days, we're trading into a downtrend. Before that, we were trading into an uptrend. Why? The reason the trend is important is if I'm taking a buy trade, which this is, in a downtrend, I am going to take less pips than I normally would if I were trading into a uptrend. So we're taking a buy trade into a downtrend, so that's worth less pips. In fact, let's take a look at how many pips it is. I like to know how much room I have till I hit this line. So I've got 13 pips here and 40 pips down. So 13 pips up till I hit this line. 13, 14 pips up and 70 pip or 40 pips down. So if I were to take this trade, it would probably be about a 9 pip buy. A 9 pip buy. And what I'm thinking about is if we can get that 9 pips within the next hour. Oops. If we can get those.
What?
If you could mute yourself, that'd be terrific. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a. Let's go ahead and take a 9 pip buy. 9 pip buy on the pound dollar. So I'm going to open up my CoinEx pound dollar. The way I determine, I'm going to click, so pound dollar, I already had it as one of the charts here. If I didn't, I would go to File, New Chart, and find it. Usually that's one of the ones right on top. So I'm going to click New Order. My lot size, I've got $8,600 in this demo account, so I'm going to take a lot size of 0.886. I'm just moving the decimal place over 4 spots, and I'm going to take a market buy. It records it down below. I click anywhere along the trade information, right click, go to modify. 9 pips is 90 points. And right now we're going to use a 4 times stop loss. So 4 times, it's going to be 360. But I'm going to just take a look at the chart to verify this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. And I like to make sure I see my stop loss, my take profit. Usually on my trades, I like to go 2 support and resistances away. If I were to go 2 support and resistances away, we've got a buy, I would put my stop loss somewhere below here at 37.36, just to give it room to breathe. Reality is it isn't, yeah, 37.36. So I'm going to do that 37.33. That's what I'm going to use as a stop loss. So I'm going to go back and modify it. 37.33. I'm pushing it a little further down. That is my risk tolerance. You need to determine what your risk tolerance is. All right, so we took 1 trade. Let's go back and see what else we have. We've got about 6 minutes left in the hour. So that was a 10-point trade. Now I'm going to take a look for a thick orange line trade. So this is a different trade. On the thick orange line trade, this is kind of a quick scalp, and it attempts to catch the bounce in the candle at the top of the hour. So we want to take it when there's generally less than 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes left, and we've got 4 minutes left in the hour. If we look up here at the TR, that's time remaining on the current candle. I am looking for this number here to be either 0 or minus 100 or within 10 points of either. Minus 22 isn't. Minus 5 is within 10 points of 0. So I've got part A of the trade. In order, one of the things you need to be a good trader is take trades that have a higher percentage of winning. And to get those trades that have a higher percentage of winning, you want more of the indicators to say that this is a good trade. So if I have this, when this is at 0, this is telling me that the way we've scaled the thick orange line, it's telling me it doesn't believe there's any more up in the move. I want something, so if there's no more up in the move, it's about to go down. To know that for sure, or not for sure, but to have a better sense that, okay, the move is maxed out, I want confirmation of that. And I get that confirmation by looking at the majors and minors, and I want to see all 4 lines well above the blue. These are pretty good above the blue. These are pretty good above the blue. I want to see what else we have, since we've got 3 minutes here before I decide to take this. On a thick orange line trade, I would expect it to close within the hour. So we could take this and get away with it, although we would be trading against the trade that we just took here on the pound dollar, where we're saying it's going up. Here we're just going to try to catch a little bounce at the top of the hour. Here we're going to try to catch a move as the lines move through the channel. Minus 100 US Canadian dollar. So I've got condition 1. I also have all 4 lines. I would like to see the red line. The green line is way down here. I'd like to see the red line a little further advanced, but we don't have that. I guess I want to see what else we've got before I decide if we're going to take a thick orange line. Minus 85, no. Minus 83, no. Let's see what we've got on the second grouping. I've got less. I don't have as many U.S. pairs here. Minus 87, no. Minus 21, no. Minus 90, yes. That's within 10 of 100, but I don't have all the lines oversold. So I've got part 1, but I don't have part 2. 0, yes. I don't have the lines up enough. I want to see the lines a little further past the overbought line. So I don't like this because the red is just crossed over and the blue is just, the black is just touching. So that's not enough for me. New Zealand USD minus 41, minus 96, yes, but the lines are not oversold. I need to have both conditions, so let's keep going. You can see this is a real fast one to figure out. Minus 30, no. Minus 15, no. 0, yes. Euro, yen, all 4 lines are above. I like this one. Minus 52, minus. Let's take a 5 pip sell on the euro yen. We got 0, all 4 lines above. They're kind of pretty far above. So we'll take a 5 pip sell on the euro yen. So euro yen, and I am going to take a new order, 0.86 sell, and On this trade, I don't need to look at the more detailed chart because we know what this, based on extensive testing, that it's always good for 5 pips, and we use a 4-to-1 stop loss. And I just want to make sure I get the full 5 pips. I got in at 130.37. We took a sell, so I want that to go to 130.323. So that's 5 pips, and there we go. We can get some confirmation on this. Let's see. Oh, we didn't get the confirmation on this. Normally, if I go back in time, I'm at 0. What I did is I went back 1 hour. So this is right at the top of the hour. This is what we're looking at when the clock changed. 0, all the lines up here. Some traders like to see this number jump by 10. It only jumped by 6. So this means it might take a little bit longer for the turn to happen. Might take a little bit longer, and you can see that the majors and minors, or the majors, pushed up a little bit higher. They haven't started to turn. The minors started to turn, but the majors haven't. So, and on our pressure, green crossed over. Green crossed over usually means there'll be a little bit further push up. So this may take a couple hours. And if this stays this way on the top of the next hour, if we've got the -5 and these lines up here, you could take the trade again for another 5 pips going down and then catch it on the ride down. All right, so we took 2 trades this morning. In fact, one of them closed. Our so the £1 pound dollar trade closed while we were talking. Our other trade is still open, but it's within, it's within 10 pips of closing. Any questions? Let's take a look. Let's see. So do I make a trade on the higher levels or lower levels? I don't understand the question, Christina. Try retyping it in. The clear pressure still didn't update. Gary, I don't understand that question either. If you want, actually, when you're changing the clock, why don't you reach out to me privately, Gary? Because I kind of understand, but I don't. So let's just your clear pressure didn't update. When you say the clear pressure, the lines may not specifically change. I'm just adjusting the clock so that it reflects what it should, and the reflection may be different on a 60-minute chart versus a 5-minute chart. Okay, everybody. Thanks for joining. We're here to help you become successful traders. So if you have any questions, just reach out, and we're here to get them answered and give you the skills you need to do very well. Thanks so much, and see you next week. Bye-bye.